I'm Ramesh Dhakal, currently working as a hemp breeder at Virginia State University. I'm currently in charge of all hemp related research and dissemination activities conducted by BSU. Though hemp has diversified use, we are currently focusing on hemp seed oil and hemp fiber. Basically, seed and fiber varieties are our objective. We are trying to develop high yielding varieties in terms of seed and fiber for small growers around Virginia and Commonwealth region. In terms of resources and the technology available to small farmers, CBD oil processing is a kind of high tech, high input required, so that it is a kind of out of reach for small farmers. It may not be beneficial, or they may not compete with the big companies or big farms. They are involved in the hemp CBD oil. Due to that complexity in the processing, it is easier for small farmers to grow for seed varieties, and they can process fiber. It is a kind of less complicated, and it may be useful and beneficial for small farmers in long term. Most of them are obviously from Europe. We are evaluating 16 different varieties that we got from Europe last year. And in addition to that, we have some Chinese varieties. This is the one we got from Virginia Tech. Its name is Jinma. This is the local variety from China. In addition to that, we have some heirloom varieties, Kentucky plum, we got from Kentucky State University. So these are the variety we are looking for. And we are generally assessing for high seed yield. There is not any hard and fast rule for that threshold level of oil, but as much as we can get, that would be beneficial. A high percent more, at least from 25 to 30% in a rough cut. If higher than that, and not only the oil content, quality should be another parameter. We have to go for the quality. There are differences between the oleic acid, linolenic acid, or some saturated and non-saturated fatty acid. There are different components in the seed oil that determines the quality. So we have to be very careful in accessing the quality of the oil. If we look for only high oil content, it may not be in good proportion with the all beneficial fatty acid. So there should be some quality and quantity issues. We have to look between that. We have to consider all these factors, and if there is some good quality oil along with high seed oil content, then that would be good and economically viable for farmers. Seed breeding or developing a variety of any crop takes long time. It's a long-term process. Generally, it takes around 7 to 10 years to develop a variety through conventional breeding process. And it is the time frame in well-established crop like soybean, you can say, corn, rice, wheat. But the difference between these crops and this industrial hemp is that we don't have any information. We don't have any previous work. We don't have any public hemp breeding program in US. There is no any formal breeding program till now, because we just started after a long gap. Before it was banned for cultivation, and there is no any germplasm source. There is no any open sources. So that we have to collect some information between germplasm or genetic pool before starting a formal variety development process or breeding program. And that is the step we are taking here at VSU. For that process, we are trying to get germplasm, trying to get all kind of seed material from all over the world. And it is very difficult to get that. And for example, I told you before, we got some Chinese varieties, some Kentucky plum, and we got some varieties from some public gene bank. We have some accession now. Though we are still characterizing it, they are very diverse in terms of their maturity, in terms of their plant height, growth habit, in terms of their seed size. In every morphological aspect they are different. We are really hopeful for that. But for these germplasms to be used in breeding program, we have to characterize them first. We have to know the all basic information about that. We are evaluating, we are seed multiplying them. We have around 44 different germplasm. We are characterizing that. It will continue for next year too. And once we have some sufficient information, we will decide how to proceed forward, how to select the parent, how to make a cross between these diverse parents. And we will select all these parameters based on the trait we are looking for. For example, if we are breeding for oil, we will select the germplasm with high oil content. For fiber, we will go for the tall with high fiber developing plant. So we are trying to mix up that. It's a kind of hit and trial. So on the base, from this germplasm pool, we will select the best germplasm, make a cross, develop the progeny, and it will take some more years to evaluate and to get homogeneous generation. In initial phase, it would be more heterozygous and they are not uniform, like variety. Some are tall, some short, some kind of mix. Once you go on selfing and selecting them, it will make a stable and uniform variety. So it will take around at least 7 to 10 years. For other crops where we have all information, so it may be a little bit challenging and difficult for him, but we are still trying to go through it. We are taken some initial step on that. So we are at least in the very initial phase of variety development. So it is a long goal. We have a long way to go, but let's see, we can go through it. We can have some good varieties. In other crops, established crop like soybean, rice and maize, there is check-off fund. There some research program in big universities and big research station, they are getting a good sum of money as a check-off fund from farmers, because they are a good, well-established cooperative growers community on these crops. But here, this is a new crop. We don't have any established farmers cooperation, and so we could not expect much from farmer side now. Unless we can give them back something, we cannot expect much. But here, for our public breeding program, we are getting some support from USAID, USDA, NIFA, from federal fund, and VSU is trying to make hemp breeding as a flagship program, like a good program. We want to develop that. So we have all kind of support from university, from the Department of Agriculture, and we have some support from, in terms of finance, we have some small project going on through USDA, and we are trying to build up more program. We have submitted some proposals, so that's the way we are trying to get some money to sustain that program in long run. Once we got some good varieties, uh, it is the responsibility of VSU or in Department of Agriculture or university management. They will decide how to go through the farmers market or how to release. There may be some memorandum of understanding of how to license that. So we have to first breed the variety. After that, university management committee will decide how to proceed, how to release these varieties. And as a public institution, it would be open source. There won't be any breeders protection. As a land grant university, we have to provide what information we have. So it would definitely be beneficial for farmers. They can get easily access to the seed, but there should be some procedures. We should figure it out because it's a new. There is no any established, I think, as much as I know. So we have to work on that for the benefit of both farmers and research institute. On that sense, we have different kind of objective. For short-term objective, that's what we are doing, evaluating all available commercial varieties here. On the basis of this result, we can tell farmers which variety is yielding higher in terms of seed and oil, and which is doing good over the course of the time within 2-3 years, which is the stable one. Because we are not in the condition to release a new varieties, we have to tell farmers what is available now. So these are the available varieties. We are trying to test the adaptability and yield potential of these varieties, and probably after analyzing 2-3 years data, we can tell farmers this is the stable one, you can go for that, or this is the best suitable for this geographical region. This is the short term objective. That's why we are evaluating all varieties here, and we continue doing it once we get more varieties. We are in the process to get the new varieties every year. This year we have 16 varieties. We are trying to get 2 or 3 more varieties next year, and we will continue evaluating and, and releasing all the information to farmers continuously every year. This is the best. So meanwhile you can do that, and in the background or side by side we are doing our own breeding program. And as I told you before, it definitely takes long time before releasing. So meantime we are evaluating commercial varieties and providing all the information to farmers, and after that, once we get our superior varieties, we will release that. It is a long term process. That's what we are separated our objective as a short term and long term. That is the process we are doing. If some other commercial company, they have some variety or material to evaluate, we are definitely can do that now. We can evaluate, we can do some research, and we can provide some information generated from this material. For that research purpose and development purpose, definitely we can work together with private people, and we are looking forward it. We are always open to work. We are always open to share ideas and integrate all the ideas to develop the hemp program, to build it up. I just want to share a message that we are trying to build up a good public breeding program for hemp, and this should be a model, as we are one of the first land grant university developing a public hemp breeding program. And we have some good germplasm base too, and we are working on that. And if you have any interest, or if you want to know anything about our breeding program, please come to our university, come to our office, or contact us at any time. We are open to talk, we are open to share any ideas or development that's going on here at BSU at any time. We are working for farmers, we are working for you people, we are here for you guys.